Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Maker. During the last part, I covered a combination of viewer-submitted levels and levels on the popular queue. So in this part, I'll be covering 6 viewer-submitted levels, starting out with this one, Heated Tunnels by Patheta35, with 7 plays and a score of 0. As usual, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a part like this one, please leave the level name or preferably the level ID in the comment section below or direct message me on Twitter. And as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LP series and how I go about this LP is linked in the description below. Also, in the description I'll list out the timestamps for each of these levels. So let's begin here. Panta has been quite a dependable developer, so let's see what they have cooking here. Okay, we're introduced to some fire enemies. Well, this is called Fiery Tunnel in the first place, so it makes sense. No Mega Buster. Well, we can slide at least, so that's appreciated. Plus, we actually have the charge kick to make things a little bit easier on ourselves. This is definitely a fire-focused stage, that's for sure. Thank you, Panta, for giving me the ability to charge kick and avoid all these challenges. Really appreciate it. Slide. I wasn't fast enough with sliding, unfortunately. Can I get past this segment without using the... Oh, well, I'm taking all the way back here, but at least it isn't too far back. Alright, let's get ready here, soon enough. And now, time to run forward. Still not fast enough. I guess I'll need to use charge kick here. Well, I made it this time, but it's really tight if you don't use the charge kick. Probably should have put a checkpoint nearby, especially with all the instant death hazards. This feels a bit easier compared to the previous challenge, actually, because there's less chance of failing. Well, at least there's a checkpoint right over here, and despite my earlier claims of there should be a checkpoint, it isn't that far back from the starting of this level, so I guess it's fine. Oh wow. At least we have the charge kick in order to make these challenges a little bit easier. Although, this is forced weapon usage, so there probably should have been a large weapon energy nearby the checkpoint, just in case you run out. That would have been really appreciated as well. That was a bit clumsy of me. Is it just me, or did the Mega Maker engine buff the powerfulness of all the pickups, specifically life energies? I don't remember the large life energies restoring that much health at once. Phew, that was close. Oh darn, I forgot that we don't have access to this one. I mean, I forgot we don't have access to the energy balancer anymore. I've been playing so much Magmal 2 that I keep forgetting I don't have that. Crash Bomber time. I almost forgot I have access to Crash Bomber. I probably should have been using it a lot more often. And I also forgot that the hotheads or Chanky makers in this engine have really high contact damage as well. More so than what you would expect. Okay, that room didn't spawn in correctly. Yeah, something's wrong with this room. It's not being set properly. The first time through it worked, but this time through everything is breaking for some reason. The timing, I mean. Okay, now the timing's working. I'm always a little bit wary of these challenges, especially because of that barrier over there. Oops. I should have not done that one. If only I had access to an E-tank. Well, if you position yourself correctly, this challenge is a lot easier because you can hit multiple hotheads at once. And it escalates more so as you get forward, as you can see with the red force beams now, the instant death versions. I'll probably have to configure an auto-fire or get a auto-firing button so I don't need to keep button mashing everywhere. It gets grating after a while. Okay, and these seem to be... well, these fire bars seem to be location sensitive too now. Thanks, game. Usually the fire bars would activate regardless of where you were positioned, but here they seem to only activate when you're just right up to them. The other problem of the screen freezing temporarily when picking up an item is that it can throw off your balance. Sorry for being silent over there, but I needed to focus on this one challenge. The only thing I've learned about this one is that the firebar timings seem to be a bit broken in this engine. They should all be activating at a consistent timing, but they seem to be activated just when you go up to them, meaning that they seem to be pressure activated. In reality, they only go off at a certain interval once you get on screen, which kept throwing me off over there and causing my deaths. Well, I was hoping this part wouldn't require that many jump cuts, but it seems that this won't be true, unfortunately. At least this stage really focuses on the fire gimmicks, and using the force beams as a substitute for lava, I suppose. It's fun and all, but it just overuses what should I say, instant death hazards more than my liking is. And I just realized that the developer probably just placed multiple pickups at the same position. That's why they restore twice as much. Okay, that was a little bit of a jerk move over there because it's a bit hidden. There's a fire bar in the top left that actually is a little bit obscured by the life bar. Oh no. Force beam time. This wasn't that bad. There's a bunch of forced weapon usage here, but there are almost always special weapons nearby to make things a little bit easier on you. Keep sliding. Keep sliding. Yeah, I expected there to be a jump, but I was expecting something worse. I was expecting it to be as hard as the first usage of the challenge. This is much easier. I'm gonna consume that M-Tank for the boss fight coming up. And collect the other one. At least I hope there's a boss fight. Yep, we have a boss fight against Plant Man and all these Sniper Joes at once. If my assumption is correct, of which it isn't. Okay, it's the shine this time, I suppose. Didn't time it right. Oh, it's actually... The plant barrier actually consists of different segments, it seems. That's good to know. Of course, I can't really hit him easily with it. This is gonna take a short while. Especially because I can't hit anything properly. I can kill the Sniper Joes though, and I do have multiple M-Tags, so it does make the boss fight a bit easier. I just wish I had charge shots or something. Those would also be pretty appreciated. That's it, I'm using an E-Tank right now. Unfortunately, I don't think I can use any... What just happened? I just clipped out of the stage. That sucks. I really wanted to keep that E-tank. Well, I guess the easy version of this boss fight is to use the shine everywhere, but it's a lot slower. Or just use it when in danger. Like whenever the plant barrier comes when you're moving upwards, go use it. Fine enough with me, I suppose. How did I glitch through the platform there? The engine's collision boxes. After playing Magma 2 so much, it's kind of jarring to go through this engine's version of hitboxes, the ones that are a lot more glitchy and whatnot. When version 1.1 comes out, I really hope they work on their collision boxes. This is, as you can see, there's so many odd glitches that can appear that I never encountered in Magma 2, even with the worst levels. If you've seen my ongoing LP series, that's going concurrently with this one. Let's hope this time I don't glitch through the wall again. I guess I got knocked back into the wall somehow during an update. Alas, this stage has been completed. We had an odd bug at the end, but it was a nice gimmick-based stage, or special weapon-focused stage. Although the ordering of the difficulties was a bit off, because that last challenge where you had to run away from the force beams was considerably easier than the first iteration of it, which was much harder, and you were almost forced to use the charge kick in order to get by. Otherwise it'd be a bit too fat. Otherwise, it's really precise. Still, I'll give this a thumbs up. As for the next two levels in this part, they're also by Patheta35. He sent a trio of levels. So second up is Metal Man Dunk Challenge by Patheta35 with 25 plays and a score of 11. Based off of his comment, it's a challenge where we need to dunk Metal Man into the hole because he's immune against all my special weapons and... So we need to keep descending downwards and somehow get to... Yeah, he's immune against everything. We have infinite usage of the Magma Missile, thankfully, so this is a lot easier than you would expect it. And there's plenty of health refills too. Well, this is definitely fun. I say, even though it's simpler than the previous stage, it's more fun. At least for me. It's slowly getting harder with all of these blocks, but at least we have a lot of leeway to get back up there and climb the ranks, or climb back up all the Shadow Man platforms. Especially here where everything is a block. I'm now glitching through the platforms again. Engine, thank you. Sorry if I'm ranting about the engine again. It's just after playing Magma 2 a lot, I can't just help it but compare the two. Oh no. Come on. There we go. And we defeated Metal Man, although it was a little bit glitchy near the end. This was a fun, more gimmick-based stage where we're forced to use the Magma Missile, but it was still pretty fun. It was basically a spam challenge. Thankfully, there were enough large energy pickups to restore your health, so for that I do approve. I'll give this a thumbs up, and I'd say it was better, or at least I found it to be more fun, in comparison to the previous level. So third up on the lineup is Master of Gravity and Time, with 12 plays and a score of 0. Also, as an immediate warning for the stage, according to the author, I would like to give a seizure warning for this stage, essentially. Avert your eyes for this level, or skip ahead to the next level, because there will be a lot of usage of the flashing flash stopper. Alright, I'm going through the stage. Avert your eyes now, or switch ahead. So it's another flash stopper gimmick stage. I can see why there's going to be seizure warnings. Sorry if your eyes are hurting by now. Not Flash Stopper, Gravity Hold. Flash Stopper is a different weapon. Gravity Hold is already really broken and it's one of the strongest weapons in the game, because it can basically just send all enemies off screen. Gosh, I really wish there was a way we could actually tone it down a bit. Give an option for that. The only problem with using the Gravity Hold is that enemies, when killed, they will not drop special weapons at all. I mean, they won't drop any pickups. Which is bad if you take some damage like I did. As I was saying, I wish there was an option to actually tone down the amount of flashing that happens on screen when you use the gravity hold. It can get quite crazy in stages like these. Quite eye-blaring. Well, thank you. I'll restart over here because I'm really low on health and I don't want to consume that E-tank just yet. I see a windstorm over there. Okay, now we have this gimmick again. And expect a lot of failures once more. I probably should just use the shine jumping in order to get across. At least there's always a large amount of pickups over there. And I have infinite usage of the shine as long as I don't hit something. I was hoping there was something down there, but no, I need to make it across somehow. That didn't spawn in correctly. I guess it wandered off screen, and I thought there was just the ground below me. I won't fault the level creator for this. Neat, we need to cross these gaps. This is a fun challenge, actually. So this is where we need to spam gravity hold and get by as quickly as possible to get back down on the platforms, otherwise we'll be stuck. Very neat challenge, that's for sure. I like that they mix the gravity hold gimmicks with the wind tornado. And I do like that at the beginning of each segment is actually telling you what special weapon will be utilized. Like here, we need to use this weapon, the Flash Stopper. At different parts of the stage though, so we can get across, as you can see there. I need to wait for the Yoko blocks to spawn in correctly, get over here, and reset it. Hopefully I don't run out of special weapon energy. That would be a shame. Well, thank you for having all the refills everywhere. The level author was rather generous in that regard. Now I gotta be careful not to get telefragged by the Yoko blocks. Oh hey, a topspin platform. And once again, spamming gravity hold everywhere. I legit didn't expect that to happen, but I probably should have. At least there's a checkpoint at the beginning of each segment, so I'm not complaining in that regard. This is definitely a fun gimmick-based stage, more fun than the previous two, as it focuses not just on using the gravity hold, but other special weapons too. Although I probably should damage boost so I don't need to worry about getting rammed into the walls a bit. Positioning can be a slight problem too because of how collision boxes work in this engine, and uncharitable spike hitboxes, which thankfully didn't strike over here. I will gladly take that M-tank. And now we have the shine room. It seems that every special weapon will have a time to shine, no pun intended. I see we need to... That was a little bit scary there, and I'm worried about where I'm going to be sent to. So I need to gradually get my way... I need to position myself in the correct fashion so I can fall down here without getting embedded in the spikes somehow. Phew, that was close. Yikes, I don't want to get caught in the ceiling there. Or get caught in the wall on the left. Come on, please position me, thank you. And I don't want the footholder positioning to throw me off all the way. As I said multiple times, I don't trust this engine's hitboxes. Based off of my bad experiences in the previous 40 parts or so. And now, gravity hold, and we need to run. Of course, everything, so avert your eyes again if you don't like seeing flashing screens. Thankfully there was no sudden spikes in the middle over there. The level auditor could have easily put a troll spike over there, but they decided not to. Even with all the screen flashing, this is definitely my favorite stage out of the bunch that Patheta made. Crashman is not weak against the gravity hold, of course, but he is weak against the flash stopper, I suppose. Oh no, it's the windstorm. Better use my E-tank. Or is it the shine, actually? And of course I have infinite special weapon energy as long as I destroy all those tellies, so I have nothing to fear. If anything, it seems to be the shine is his weakness. If I can ever get to him. You know what, I'm just gonna use Windstorm. The only problem is with Windstorm I can't deal as much damage. Gravity hold time. Yeah, flash stopper time it is. That seems to be the best of use against him. Although, using the shine, I can easily restock all my health and energy. And that was Master of Gravity and Time, although it really should be titled Master of Gravity, Time, Shielding, Wind Tornadoes, and other stuff. At first, it was a nice introduction to the gravity gimmick, or rather should I say, the gravity hold destroying enemies, but then it utilized all of our special weapons in specialized stages, or segments. That I do approve of. And the Windstorm segment wasn't that bad either. I liked the segment where you had to ride off of those footholders. That was pretty fun. The last segment where you had to use the shine to descend all of the spike chutes, that was really nerve-wracking. So overall, I enjoyed all three of your levels, Patheta, although I would say I enjoyed this one the most. Fourth on the lineup is Wooded Wetlands Assault by DerelictAllstar with 7 plays and a score of 3. This level author submitted 2 levels in quick succession, so I will be covering both of them in this part. I actually have 5 levels of theirs in the queue, but I'll only be covering 2 of them in this part. So Firestorm and Rolling Cutter. I guess this will be more of a traditional level stage, whereas the previous 3 levels I covered were more gimmick-based stages or special weapon-focused stages. And Mega Man 4 Charge Shot. We have a nice introduction to the hoppers and rollers. And the Coltons, I suppose. Gradually making the challenges a bit harder because now we have the falling platforms over here. And before they were introduced in a safe environment, that being over the normal waterfall. We gotta be a bit careful here and stay on the falling platform so we can make our way across. Otherwise I don't think we can make the jump without the falling platform. Darn, I mistimed my jump over there. I should be utilizing Firestorm a lot more often here. And the Elect Beam traps are done pretty well as well. I would say that the gimmick introduction here is on par with the 3rd level I covered, that being Master of Gravity and Time. Although this is a lot more of a traditional level, of course. I guess this is the segment of the stage where climbing up the trunk of a tree. Very creative way of using it actually, using the limited tile set of this engine. And the musical track makes sense as well. Oh wow, we even have a makeshift elevator segment. More props to this level author. Especially because we don't have elevators in this engine, and somehow they made their own makeshift elevator segment using the footholders, and clever placements of enemies. Many props to the developer in that regard. And now we're at the canopy of the trees, I suppose, based off the assets. I'm going to ignore the mecha rabbits, or rabots as I keep calling them. And there's plentiful or a lot of places where there's special weapon refills, so that I do approve of as well. It really promotes us to use special weapons, instead of just hoarding them for the boss fights or really difficult situations. And good checkpoint placement as well. They're really nicely placed relative to the challenge difficulty. Nice, we need to rush forward here. Wow, I almost died as well. I gotta be a little bit more careful. Rabots. I don't want to start back at the checkpoint, so better safe than sorry. And I'm not really sure if I can dodge the Rabot's carrots. That's a little bit of a scary maneuver over there. Never mind, I thought it was kind of a jerk maneuver or troll maneuver, but in fact we fight the boss at the bottom of this tree trunk, and I end up standing right in front of Napalm Man's attack. Oops. Rolling Cutter, it seems, is his... Nope, he doesn't have any weaknesses. And I'm going to die over here. Let's see how far I can survive for this. Yep, didn't survive long enough. I wish Napalm Man acted more consistently like his Mega Man 5 counterpart. Well, at least the Mega Buster deals 3 points of damage to him, just like in Mega Man 5. Alas, that was Wooded Wetlands Assault, a very solidly constructed traditional Mega Man level. Definitely my favorite level of the part, tied with Master of Gravity and Time. So, 2 thumbs up for this. Good work, DerelictAllstar. 5th on the lineup is Gemini-Crystal Pharaoh MKII, also by DerelictAllstar, with 8 plays and a score of 0. Let's see if this level is as good as the previous stage, as that was a really well constructed stage, true on true. That stage was definitely going to give a 7 out of 10 out of me in terms of fun. And it's also one of the most well constructed levels I've seen in terms of traditional Mega Man level design in Mega Maker. Okay, we're being introduced to those enemies, the Fire Tellies, and the Protons in safe environments, as well as all these pole eggs. Now we're going to more dangerous environments with the bottomless pits. I guess this is going to be a hybrid of Gemini Man and Pharaoh Man stages or something. Gemini, Crystal, and Pharaoh Man. That's a neat way of using Protons as bombs. Yeah, that's a really nice challenge actually. Nice creative way of using the Protons as bombs, without having to move all around the place. Too bad we don't have the charge shot like the last stage, but I suppose it'd break the challenge. I suppose our special weapons can fill the void, and we don't have that many durable enemies in the first place. Too durable. If this engine actually had bolts, I would be farming all these pole eggs, that's for sure. Oh, need an E-tank. I'm going for that one. Even though there are a lot of rollers and croakers in the way. Too bad the croakers aren't weak against the Surge Snake. That would have been really appreciated. After all, croakers take about 12 points of damage before dying, I think. So back we go. Yeah, I'm not stepping on that Top Man platform, I mean Sparkman platform. Especially considering my bad experiences with them. Oh, we need to descend it in the correct way, it seems. And not get crushed by its returning it down. That's neat. I wonder, is there something up here? Other than that, we have all those pickups, but I never used a special weapon yet. Other than Surge Snake and Rush Coil, of course. Oh gosh, these challenges. If you've watched my Mega Maker LP True on True, I already ranted about the issues with the Sparkman platforms. They are not as bad as Magmal 2 because you can actually stop how far they go upwards, so it's possible to make them non-crusher type. So far so good, the challenge is being upgraded and we're using the enemies in new interesting combinations. Like now we have a combination of the Croakers, Fire Tellies, and the Potons. And we had a harder rendition of the Poton Bomb segment with all of those Sparkman platforms. So the level designer is mixing it up in pretty neat fashions. And this feels like a completely feasible traditional Mega Man level as well. Although a little bit more on the harder side if you were to ask me, due to the increased usage of spikes and Sparkman platform crushing hazards. And that was the jump button failing to register again. Might as well just use the plant barrier for shielding, I suppose. Neat! We have another one of these challenges. A lot of special weapon energy we're getting too. What I would really like though is an extra lives. Or rather, I should say more health. Only weapon energy, of course. How do I get back up there? Oh, Rush Coil. Okay, this is the only instance of forced weapon usage in this stage. Kind of odd, because the rest of the stage could have been completed without using special weapons. It just feels kind of out of place in comparison with the tree levels of Patheta, where it was established really early on that you should use special weapons, otherwise you won't be able to progress. Well, I guess we're out of the caves now. Back to using the rollers, Crystal Joes, and Fire Tellies. I got distracted by the background there. The background and foreground are a little bit confusing sometimes, as you can see there, because I thought I was going to fall directly down there. Here, not so much, thankfully. Oh, I could have just slid down right over here. Well, I guess I'm going here for the extra life. I mean, the life energy. So it balances out, I suppose. Now we have the new Shotman introduction, I suppose. All the enemies here are being introduced in nice fashion and being progressively introduced in harder gimmicks, or harder variations. This stage is definitely on the harder side as I just expressed, and it feels a bit longer too. Whereas the previous level felt like a fan games version of a traditional Mega Man stage, that being about 30 to 35 screens long, this one feels like 40 or 50. Not complaining though, this feels fun, and the stage always feels fresh when introducing new gimmicks and progressively mixing in enemies and the previous gimmicks in more interesting configurations. I didn't make that jump there because my jump button failed to register again. Like here, we were introduced to the bomb segment in a safer environment before. Now we're being introduced to a more dangerous environment with all the tellies. There's me screwing up because I didn't hit the top one earlier. But as always, at the beginning of each segment there is always a checkpoint, so it isn't too frustrating getting sent back. Of course, some of the positioning here can be a little bit tricky, as you can see. I was hoping for Plant Barrier to be activated, but that was the wrong one. Now we have an even harder configuration here. We need to jump back at the correct moment. Because now we have to wait for this to get... Wow, we have a short duration of time to get this working, otherwise we'll die. Now I have a harder version of this challenge where we have to be careful not to get crushed on the opposite side of the room. Yikes. Oh no. This is really degrading fast. I can see it's getting harder, progressively harder over time. At least this was well introduced 2 times before. And I suppose this is a boss room, so let's see what its weakness is. Pharaoh Man. Well, I guess this is where the Pharaoh Man gimmick of the stage came. Well, it seems that he's weak against the Surf Snake. And I do have an E-Tank I can consume, so I might as well use it. Is it just me, or does that Surf Snake keep despawning at the worst of times? I don't remember in the original Mega Man 3 doing that. Well, that was the end of Gemini-Crystal Pharaoh MKII. I would say it's on par or slightly better than Wooded Wetlands Assault. Both are really solid levels, a solid 7 out of 10 in terms of fun, or even 7.5 out of 10. I think I discovered a new level author who I'll be following. 6th and final level of this part is In Search of the Secret Left Behind, Normal, by Pirata Patheta, with 8 plays and a score of 1. The previous few stages I played by Pirata were auto-scrollers, or auto-playing ones, so let's see this one. I was half expecting there to be a bottomless pit or some secrets, but nope. Mega Missile, okay, we have a bunch of special weapons that are neat. He said this was a short but sweet level. Let's see how it stands up, of course. Neat, we have the Mega Man 5 charge shot too. The hitbox is a bit bigger than what I expected it to be. I wonder what secret is left behind though. I guess this is where we use Wind Tornado. Wrong way. Well, those tops are being used as alarms, I suppose. Why isn't this not activating? That's not a good sign. Well, I'm stuck here, so... Well, I guess I'll have to restart from checkpoint. I need weapon energy in order to get across, and for some reason the Mega Missile decided not to change direction. Oh. Well, that's a bad sign. I'm forced to restart the stage here because I don't have any large weapon pickups. And I can't get across the stage without having large weapon pickups. That's the big negative of this stage. There should have been a large weapon pickup at the entrance over there, just in case you could get stuck, like I did. Or at the very least, put an enemy farming opportunity, because I can't reach that Ben K without using the Windstorm, and I could potentially run out of Windstorm energy too. Oh, I need to lure it using the walkers there. Okay then, that's gonna make this a lot harder. Oh, I see, it's a puzzle stage. We need to get this walker on the right side of the screen so we can actually destroy it. That's neat, actually. So now we have to walk across and lure it to the correct position so we can destroy it, or destroy the block on the right side. Oh no, get back over here please. Not here. On this side please. So we need to use the walker as bait, essentially. Come on, go on the other side. Thank you. I've never seen this gimmick before in Mega Maker, or maybe I've seen it once or twice off screen, so this is neat. Although there should have been a large weapon pickup somewhere so he wouldn't die accidentally. Or end up getting locked out by accident. Or put some farming opportunities. Like here, there are a lot of large weapon capsules, but before there weren't, when there should have been. After all, that is a safe introduction of the gimmick, and it's really of a jerk maneuver or trollish one if you can't actually complete the stage properly. Please jump on the left side. Or I'll just damage boost. And my invulnerability period runs out too early. Okay, come back down here, please. This direction. Ow, oh, I can use the... Wait a minute, I can use the pole eggs, I think. Like that. Now if I can restore some of my weapon energy, that would be really helpful. But of course, the drop rates are not in my favor. Wait a minute. If I could only get it up there. Yeah, that's the problem. I need to get it up there somehow, but that's much easier said than done, especially with the positioning. As you saw over there, they're in too close proximity with each other. I guess this is the grinding spot if we run out of weapon energy. I was expecting this to be a short and sweet level, but I didn't expect a puzzle level here. Alright, I think I figured out how to solve this challenge. And it involves going to the right side of the screen, destroying the Sniper Joe, and luring that one enemy over there away. So we need to wait until it goes just below that magnet missile block, and then destroy it. This challenge would be so much easier if we could actually just change the magnet missile direction in midair. Whoops, I destroyed it by accident. Thankfully, as long as you re-enter and exit the room and you don't die, the blocks you destroyed will stay destroyed. Yeah, I had to bash my head against this challenge 15 times, and because of that, unfortunately, this has become my least favorite level of the part. I was hoping for another easy auto-scroller, but now we have the hardest level in the part reserved for last. If I knew this level was going to be this difficult, I would have done it the first. But alas, I finally made it out of this room. Thankfully, this section actually has some drops, but there should be a lot more, especially with how fast you consume your magnet missile energy. That's the only problem I have with this stage, and the fact you can get soft locked at the beginning part of the level. And I understand the gimmick behind this stage, but all of those things are really bringing down this stage for me, and they're making it a lot less fun. Like here, for example, why aren't there any large weapon drops? There should be here because you can potentially get soft lock. Sure, they're in the previous screen, but there should be here too, because you have to waste Wind Tornado doing it. There's just so many issues with this stage that are really bringing it down, even though I understand the gimmick. So let me see here, we need to drop it down here. Can I just skip this challenge by just luring this one over here? Because I can do stuff like this, destroy that walker once again, and jump over here. And now we're introduced to a whole bunch of enemies at once, all the shielded enemies. At least my shot is persisted. And not to mention in the second section, the room that we can refill, it has a lot of annoying enemy combinations with the hoppers, poles, as well as the croakers. Is this it? Where are we sent to? Are we sent back to the beginning of the stage? I hope not. If it is, I'm giving the stage a thumbs down. That shouldn't be there. Especially with how difficult the challenges are. Wait a minute. No, never mind. It's sent all the way back there for some reason. I'm just quitting this stage. I'm going to be using the level editor for this. Or of course I can just get this sent back over here and ignore that one. I don't understand why we have that troll teleport back over there. Unless you want to restock on weapon energy, but the difficulty of the stage is already high enough. Why not just put it over there? I could be completely misinterpreting the stage. I'm just getting really frustrated with all the design decisions. Especially in comparison with all the other levels Pirata made. All of them are better than this one, I would say, in design. I'm going to have to use the level editor. I don't understand this at all. The level design is just too confusing in this regard. Sorry Pirata, but after going through the stage, there's too many flaws that bring it down, that make me not like it as much. It feels quite a shame because I was really looking forward to it. All the other levels felt like they were better for the player, but this one just feels frustrating to go through. Sorry Pirata. After looking through the level editor, I found this level's secret. Remember what that arrow meant and why we're sent back over here? There's a wall over here, and yep, the end of the stage is actually accessible here. That was a really big troll maneuver, so this is definitely a troll stage. So that really got me, but even then, I mean, it didn't feel well designed, and so my downvote will still persist. Sorry, Pirata. If those aforementioned issues are fixed, I'd like the stage a lot more. And we had to fight against Toadman, and there was nothing to suggest that there was a hole over here other than the arrow taking us back there, but it's extremely unclear. If anything, there should be a troll marker on this stage to indicate what it actually is. Alas, In Search of the Secret Left Behind is done. I guess that's what the secret left behind means. The exit's actually at the entrance to the left. I already outlined all my problems with the stage, so sorry Pirata. So overall, I would say my favorite levels out of this part would be Gemini-Crystal Pharaoh MKII and Master of Gravity and Time. I already talked about how well designed DerelictAllstar's levels were, and Master of Gravity and Time using all 5 of the special weapons in pretty nice ways. It wasn't just a gravity hold stage, it was actually a multiple special weapon focus stage. So for that alone, I would definitely give both of them a thumbs up. And the honorable mention would also be DerelictAllstar's other level, Wooded Wetlands Assault, for the aforementioned reasons as Gemini-Crystal. So in the next part, I'll be covering a bunch more levels on the popular queue. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!